everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Mariah and I am documenting our journey in planning our Disney fairy tale wedding in Orlando, Florida at Disney World. If that is something you are interested in, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around. Give me a thumbs up if this is some content that you like and you want to see more. And let's just get on into the video. So in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about reception pricing and all the different locations that you can have your reception and cocktail hour at Walt Disney World. I've already talked a little bit about ceremony pricing, and I will definitely leave that link down below to that video, but this is a little bit more in-depth and show you guys a little bit of our banquet event order that we've received. It's definitely not the finished price or anything like that, but just gives you guys a little bit more of an idea of the prices that you will see when you decide to book your Disney wedding. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please continue watching and I will stop rambling and we'll just get on into the pricing. Hi, Editing Mariah here, and I realize this video is kind of a mess and I'm very blotchy all over my neck and my chest, and I don't really know what's going on with that. So if that was very distracting to you during this video, I'm very sorry. I just wanted to say that because I realize that's all that I'm staring at while I edit this video. So if you're making it through, thank you. All right, so before I go into any of the details about the reception or the price of anything, or the amount of people that you can have, or any of the add-ons, I just want to kind of go down the list and name off all of the location venues available currently at Walt Disney World. I'm sure if you don't have a budget, I'm sure they can kind of do whatever you want to do. But for now, this is just the approved ones through Disney that anybody can book right now in 2020. So I'm going to go down the list, just kind of name them off, and they are going to be in alphabetical order. So I also think that there's going to be a few on here that people weren't expecting. I know for sure we originally booked for the Grand Floridian for our cocktail hour and reception, but now that we've looked over the list a little bit more, we've contacted our wedding planner, and I think we're going to move our reception to Epcot. So I'm very excited, a little bit more magical. So I'm just going to go down this list really quickly, and then I'll get into the more exciting things about the reception. All right, so starting at the list, I'm sorry, I'm going to look down a little bit because there's a lot of locations to remember. But starting off, there's the American Adventure Rotunda, which is stunning. It's in Epcot and World Showcase in the America Pavilion and the Rotunda of the American Adventure. If you've ever been in that attraction, stunning little plaza when you first walk in. Beautiful. And it's air conditioned. Win-win. And then there's Ariel's over at the Beach Club. That's a very small venue. Atlantic Dance at the Boardwalk. The Attic at the Boardwalk. California Grill in the back rooms. The Canada Terrace, beautiful but outside. Casita's Courtyard, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but that's at Coronado Springs, and that's really, really beautiful as well, but again, it is outside. Citricos, beautiful restaurant, love it there. Crescent Cove at Yacht and Beach Club. The Croquet Lawn at the Boardwalk, which is over by the Villas. Grand Destino Plaza, so beautiful. That's one of the newer wedding venues that they have at Disney World, and it is stunning. Again, but it's outside, so do with that what you will in Florida. Of course, the Boardwalk ballrooms, the contemporary ballrooms at Coronado Springs, and the Grand Floridian. Those are pretty self-explanatory, just standard ballrooms. They all kind of follow a different color scheme, so if that's something that's important to you, that's something you should look out for, because if it's not the color scheme you're liking, you will have to pay for the pipe and draping on the walls, and it's expensive. I want to say like $2,000 per wall, something like that. So it just depends on the size of your ballroom too. We were using the smallest ballroom, and I think per wall it was almost $2,000. But again, sorry, I'll get into all of that. Oh, they also have the Yacht and Beach Club ballrooms. Those are really, really pretty. Those are a little bit more like nautical themed, and those are some of the newer ballrooms as well. So there's also the outside area down by World Showcase Lagoon in France, the GM Lounge, which is where I think we may move our reception. We haven't fully decided yet, but it is located above Test Track. And one of the, I don't know if you've ever been up there, but one of the walls is all windows and it overlooks Spaceship Earth. And it's such a stunning view and it's really beautiful in there, but we're not sure if we can have it there yet because we invited 85, but it only holds 75. So stay tuned to find out where we decide to move our reception. And then there's also the Great Hall of China, the Streets of Harambe over in Animal Kingdom. Now there's two Italy locations. One is down by the lagoon, and then the other is kind of in like the middle of the courtyard and the pavilion. There's an outdoor location at Coronado Springs at the La Mesa patio. Again, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, I'm trying. You can have it inside of the living seas, which is such a cool reception. You don't even really need to decorate, in my opinion, because you have all the aquariums. So I think that's a really cool option as well. And that's something we also might look into, because who doesn't want to have that at the reception? So moving on, there's also the Japan courtyard, the Luau Beach over at the Polynesian. You can also have your ceremony there too. Luau Point, Magic Kingdom After Hours, Morocco, the Napa and Sonoma rooms at California Grill if you didn't want to use the whole restaurant. The Norway Loft, which is so beautiful, and I didn't even know this existed, but it's like a stunning ballroom kind of room, and I didn't know it was there. So see, this is why it's a good thing to do your research before, because we really only thought of outside at Epcot or the ballrooms. We didn't really think about all these other places, and they're all really, really good options. So do with that what you will. But then there's also Oak Manor at Port Orleans Riverside. You can have a Pandora reception if that's what you're into. Sago Cay at the Grand Floridian, Seabreeze Point at the Boardwalk, Shipwreck Beach at Yacht and Beach Club, Tamu Tamu Courtyard at Animal Kingdom. The Tree of Life, you can get married there, or you can also have your reception out in front as well. The United Kingdom Courtyard, so cute. There's an area down by the water in the United Kingdom as well. Really pretty. So all of those locations, they do vary in how many people they can hold. Some only hold 0 to 30 people, and some will hold up to, I think, 250 people. But that's definitely something you're gonna wanna talk to your wedding planner about, because when we talked about having the reception at the GM Lounge, online, I think it says holds up to 100 people, but she told us for a wedding, it can actually only hold up to 75 guests, just because you need to make room for the DJ and the dance floor or the band or whatever you're having. But obviously that takes up a lot of space, so it kind of takes up where a lot of those guests could be. So I would definitely not just go off what you find online. Definitely call Disney and talk to them, because it will vary no matter where you decide to have your reception. So just throwing that out there. I don't want to give you definite numbers, because obviously that could change, but there's kind of an idea. The outside locations can hold a lot of people, and the ballrooms can hold as many people as you need them to. We were having 85 and we were only using like half of one of the rooms, whereas they can open up all 4 parts of each room for you. So keep that in mind. Huge wedding, you're gonna wanna do a ballroom more than likely. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, I'm sorry that I can't give you exact numbers for that, but I just don't wanna mislead you into thinking that you can definitely have your reception somewhere, and then when you call Disney that you actually can't. So just keep that in mind. Call Disney on time before you book your day. That way they can give you a little bit more information on that exact location as well. So moving on a little bit from locations, I want to talk about the minimum expenditure, which I talked about in a previous video, which I will link down below. Each location for your ceremony is going to have a minimum expenditure, and your reception and cocktail hour are where those numbers really come in. So if your minimum expenditure for your location is, we'll say $10,000, you need to spend at least $10,000 on food, entertainment, and all of the things going into your reception. And this can include, again, food, entertainment, floral, photography, and all that just needs to equal a minimum of $10,000. So each location is going to be completely different, and it will change. It's already changed twice this year, I believe. So make sure you speak to them about the exact minimum expenditure at the time of your booking. Now, I'm sorry if I keep looking down. I'm just trying to read the emails from our wedding planner to make this a little bit easier for everybody. So I will say, food is the most expensive part of a wedding, I think, probably no matter where you decide to have your wedding. But our food and beverage was well over our minimum expenditure just for food and beverage. So you shouldn't have a hard time meeting that at all. And again, you don't need to go crazy with decorations or music or photography or anything like that, but you will have to meet that number, and food will more than likely get you to that number. Okay, so I'm gonna keep looking down, and again, I apologize, but I have our BEO here open on my iPad, and the BEO is what they will send you after you have your meeting, your planning session and your floral session, and they will send you a rough estimate of your wedding costs in full. So this breaks every single thing down, starting at ceremony, going all the way through the day into the end of the reception. So I'm just gonna go through some of these numbers here. Again, things will change, but I just wanna be able to give you a little bit of an idea of what to expect when booking your wedding. And again, you do not need any extras as long as you meet that minimum expenditure with your food and your floor, whatever you want. You don't have to spend a penny more than that. And they will make sure to work with you and make it into your budget. So during our phone planning session, unfortunately we couldn't have it in person, but hopefully next year we'll be able to, since we have to do it all again. They kind of just told us to put anything that we could possibly want on the day into the budget. That way it's a lot easier for them to just kind of pull things out than it would be to keep making new budgets for you. So that's something to think about too. I would kind of go through the Disney website and just see if there's anything that you think you might want at all. Make sure just to tell them that, because again, they'll just remove it for you if you can't afford it, or if you think that's a crazy number for some things, which some things are. But yeah, just a little tip. So now I'm just gonna kind of talk about some of the things that most people I think will have at their wedding. We'll start with food, and I'll count cocktail hour, the bar package, and the reception food as well going into this. Okay, so I'm gonna start at cocktail hour and just kind of go through the night with the pricing. I'm not gonna talk about ceremonies at all right now, but I'm gonna go over the things that I think most people will probably have at their reception or their cocktail hour. We are doing an open premium bar for everybody, and that includes like Tito's. It's not quite Grey Goose, but I prefer Tito's anyway, so we'll just base it off of that. But that is $56 per person. And then we have 3 guests coming that are under 21, and for their like soft drink package is $35 per person. So just remember that if you don't want to have any alcohol, right now in 2020, it's $35 per guest. And then premium bar is $56 per guest, but they do also have beer and wine only option. They do also have 1 bar package that's a little bit more expensive, and I think that's $62 per person, but you get the same amount of liquor. It's just obviously better, but I don't have a problem with this one. And then also, depending on the amount of people and bars that you need, we're only gonna have 1 bar as we're having 85 people or less. And there is a bartender fee of $150 per bartender needed at your cocktail hour and reception as well. So just keep that in mind if that's something you're gonna have to budget in for. So then for food at our cocktail hour, we think we're just gonna do like a charcuterie table. That's just seems to be the easiest option. I love making charcuterie boards for my family and friends when they come over and visit anyway, so it seems very fitting for us, but they have tons of different options. And of course, you can go as crazy as you want if you want to just have like lobster and poke and sushi and a raw bar. Good for you. That's what I would want to do, but it's expensive. So we're going to keep it at our charcuterie tray, I'm pretty sure, and that's $32 per guest. So that is all we are doing for food at our cocktail hour. It's only an hour, obviously, but I feel like that's plenty for the guests. It has a ton of different options and variety on there, from cheeses and meats and veggies and whatever. So I think that's going to be plenty. And we're also going to have the open bar at cocktail hour all the way through the reception. We have also decided to have some entertainment at the cocktail hour. I'm not going to say what it is in case people are watching. I'm also not 100% sure if this is going to happen yet, because it's kind of a pretty penny, but we are having two entertainers at the cocktail hour, and it is for 1 hour, and it is $3,400. And that's why we are not sure. We'll see. I would love to, but we'll see. So with the bar, the food and beverage and entertainment, and this is including all sales tax and fees, there's a 20% gratuity, and then whatever the fees are, it comes to $13,199 for our cocktail hour. And I think that's a pretty standard cocktail hour. Again, you do not need to have the bar package, $32 per person for just soft drinks, lemonade, tea, water, coffee. And I definitely don't think you need any entertainment at your cocktail hour, because your guests are just gonna be drinking and eating, so I don't think you need that. We were kind of excited for our option, but again, stay tuned because we don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about food packages at the reception. And of course, you can do a plated service or a buffet service. We have chose to do a buffet service just because our wedding planner said it's a lot more informal and fun for your guests to kind of just get up and mingle with each other. And the way that Disney does the buffets, it's not gonna be like a normal wedding where you're kind of waiting forever to go up to the buffet and waiting for your turn. It's gonna be a multi-sided buffet, really, really quick, get everybody through there. And we're only having 8 tables of guests, nine tables anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue. And the one really nice perk of having the buffet is the couple getting married has like a server that walks up to the buffet with you and takes your plate, fills your plate for you and brings it back, so you never have to touch anything at the buffet. And there's going to be servers working the buffet anyway, but that's just for the couple getting married, which is, I think, is a very nice touch, and I was excited to hear about that. Okay, so for our buffet, we have decided to do, I believe it's 3 entrees and 4 sides, and that is a minimum of $86 per person. It just kind of depends on what we, in the long run, decide to go with. So as of right now, we haven't picked any of our food, of course, because it's a year from now, but if you do veggie options, of course, it's going to be less expensive than it will be if you decide to do like filet and lobster on your buffet. So that's another thing. It starts at 86. It can go as high as you want it to, or just let them know you can't go over 86 and they will keep it at that number for you. I also want to talk quickly about vendor meals. These are $35 per vendor. Now, if you are using any Disney vendors, you don't need a vendor meal, but this is we are having an outside videographer and possibly something else, which I don't want to talk about, but that is, again, $35 per vendor meal, and that's just kind of chef's choice. You just need to let them know if they have any food restrictions or allergies, and that goes for all your guests. There's a little list they'll send you, and you just type their names in red if they have food preferences or allergies, and they will make sure that everything is safe for everybody to eat. We also have not picked our cake flavors yet because we couldn't go in person, and that's something we definitely want to do in person, but they have crazy cake flavors, and we've decided to just kind of keep a pretty simple plain cake with some fresh floral on it, and our cake for 3 tiers is going to be $500. We also need 1/4 sheet cake, which is going to be $80 as well. The cakes can range from just a sheet cake. You don't even have to have cake, but just the sheet cakes, which a 1/4 sheet cake is $80. You can have a full sheet cake, whatever you want, all the way up to, they have that projector cake, which I think starts at $5,000. So that's totally up to you, and it's going to kind of depend on your style and how big your cake needs to be, and I don't want to give you exact prices for that, but that is for us, a plain white cake with fresh floral, $500, not counting the floral. And currently in our budget, we also have 3 additional desserts. It doesn't matter what desserts you want, it's $20 per person, but we think we might remove those and do something a little bit more fun after the reception, which I'm sure you can kind of guess because we're taking dessert out of the reception. But again, that's $20 per person, making our total food cost. Oh, excuse me, I forgot. We also have the pasta action station, which they'll have chefs like live make pasta however you want it, and that is $27 per person. We're not going to be having that, I don't think, because I think a buffet with 3 options and 5 sides is plenty of food. So I'll just count that into here in case anybody's interested in that. Again, $27 per person as of right now. And our total food cost for the reception is $11,759. Now, entertainment, we are using a Disney DJ, and the DJs are $2,300 per DJ that you have, and I'm sure you'll only have one DJ, but that also includes some lighting and the gobos on the floor. There's like a few things that are included with that, and again, that could change at any point, but just for a rough estimate, about $2,300 for your DJ. Now, that is just a Disney provided DJ. They don't actually work for Disney. They kind of just send you a website with all the DJs that do like the castle events and New Year's Eve and stuff like that. And you can just go through and pick any of them. They're all the same price, but you don't have to use any of the Disney DJs. If you have a family member or a friend that's a DJ or somebody that you love in Florida, or if you want to pay for somebody to come here, anybody can be your DJ. That's not an issue. They also have live band options and like orchestras, whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. So I think those are definitely the 2 things that most people are going to want to have at the reception, definitely food and entertainment. I don't want to talk about floral yet, and it's a little bit hard to talk about that anyway because the floral prices change throughout the year depending on what month you're getting married, what kind of floral that you like. As of right now, we're going to do a lot of greenery and then have like really wild looking flowers. We're going to do like peonies, garden roses, ranunculus, I don't even know, hydrangeas, a whole bunch of different floral, but I think that's going to change by next year, and that's the number 1 place we're probably going to have to cut costs, really just depending on how we feel, where the budget's going, and what becomes more important to us as the year goes on, because I love floral. I think it's one of the best parts of weddings, but at the same time, you see it for the one day and then you never see it again, and I think there's other things that we could use that money on instead at the wedding, so we'll just have to see. But if you want me to make a video on floral, I definitely can. I just don't know how to tell you any kind of pricing at all for that because, again, it's so different. And I feel like even like month to month, it's different. It could be different days of the week, just depending on where they have to get the flowers from, if they're in season. So I can make a kind of a baseline video for your floral. Like I know bridal bouquets start at a certain price. So I can give you kind of like the base pricing for everything. If that's something you guys are interested in, I'm more than happy to do that. So another really fun option is to have a dessert party after your reception. And of course you can do this as your reception, as well. But I believe, are looking into doing one after the reception at Epcot, and it's gonna be a firework dessert party. This is something we're gonna kind of keep hush hush, but our wedding planner actually just emailed me like 20 minutes ago, so I thought I would share it with you guys too. So we haven't booked this at all yet. We just kind of wanted a little bit more information. That way we can make our final decision by this October. So the venue fee for Epcot is $475, but it does say on here, it varies based on every location. Of course, if you want to have Magic Kingdom, happily ever after dessert party, I'm sure it's going to be a nice hefty fee. So then on top of the venue fee, there's another fee. It's $10 per person. So just however many people you want to have. It doesn't matter if you only have 2 people or 10,000 people, it's $10 no matter what. So then the only other thing you have to pay for at the dessert party is the dessert buffet, and that is $38 per person, and that's a base price. It doesn't say on here how many desserts. I would assume probably 3 as a variety, and that is your base. You can go crazy. You can add appetizers and whatever you want to do down there, but I think we might just keep it at desserts if we do decide to do this. But you get the view of the fireworks and those beautiful photos, so I feel like it might be worth it. I don't know. And so we have on the budget, she just put it as $75 per, or 75 guests, just to kind of give us like an outline. And for 75 people with the desserts and the fireworks and renting out the space would be around $5,000. And I don't feel like that's horrible. And again, you can use that as your reception as well. I would just serve a little bit more than just dessert. You can add hors d'oeuvres or a full buffet if you wanted to as well. And she just said if our reception it's supposed to end at 8:30, it would have to end at 8:15 if we have it at Epcot to give everybody 15 minutes to get over there. And if the reception is at a resort, it needs to end 30 minutes early. You have to have the transportation to bring your guests over to Epcot or Studios or wherever you're having that. So, all right, so I think that's all I really had to talk about today about receptions. If you need any more information about receptions, please let me know and I will definitely make another video. I will also make a video once we have fully decided on our reception space, with a little bit more pricing information as well for you. But if you guys have made it this far, I would love for you to subscribe, stick around, and just see where this wedding journey takes us. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching and all of the love and support I've been getting from everybody. And it really means a lot to me. So if you would like to learn a little bit more about wedding planning, please let me know anything in the comments you are interested in. If there's any wedding related things at all, doesn't even need to be Disney, but especially Disney because that's the only kind of wedding I've been planning. Please let me know and I'm more than happy to make videos about it. I have a ton of videos. Girl, the trucks outside are making me go crazy. Sorry, but I have a ton of video ideas, wedding related videos, non-wedding related videos. So if there's anything at all you want to see, please let me know. You can let me know here or on Instagram at Mariah_Main Street. And I will be more than happy to do that all for you. So I just want to say thank you guys and I hope you have a magical day.